Okay guys, here we go. The now famous 35-year-old boat of my buddies, this 1989 model Ranger I've used in the last two tournaments I've been in, and I will be using in my final Toyota Series tournament in practice day, Lake of the Ozarks. And guys, what I wanted to do is I want to give you guys my practice strategy based upon this boat here, because this thing is a little bit different than your normal boat. He's got two 5-inch Humminbird units on it, and that one's not working. So I don't have any electronics on my console anywhere, no GPS or no electronics. And the motor has got like freaking 50,000 hours on it, I believe. It's like, it's been through everything, man. And so that's another factor weighing in on my strategy for this tournament. So let's talk about it right now. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to Intuitive Angling. Really appreciate it. And today is the first day of practice here at Lake of the Ozarks for the Toyota Series tournament this week. Probably going to get about 2.5 days of practice. Well, not maybe, probably 2 days when it comes down to it by the time I actually get up there and all. And what I wanted to do in this tournament, in practice here, I sort of wanted to let you guys get inside my mind a little bit about how I'm going to approach this tournament, because a lot riding on this tournament. I think I'm in 13th or 14th place in the points right now for the Toyota Series. They take the top 25, and I really want to make that championship at Lake Wheeler. You know, it's over 200,000 for first, and I really like fishing Lake Wheeler during the fall time of the year. But one of the wild cards in this tournament is the boat that I'm using. My new boat from Vexus is going to be done actually later this week, but I'm not going to have it in time for the tournament. So I'm back to using my buddy's 35-year-old Ranger, which I really appreciate him letting me use. But guys, this thing, I love this boat. I always goof on it. This thing's become famous on YouTube, but it's it's got 3 tanks in it. It's got two 12-gallon tanks and a 24, but I'm not sure if all of them work. It's like at the last tournament that I was fishing at Table Rock out of it 2 weeks ago, the motor would die about every 5 or 6 miles, and I'd have to pump the bulb up. So I had that looked at, but I'm not real sure about how it's going to act up. And then it doesn't have a VRO oiling, so you have to hand mix the oil on the thing all the time. And like I said, there's nothing on the gauge works. The tack doesn't work, the fuel gauge doesn't work, depth finder doesn't work, there's no GPS. So I'm just in a boat, just with the motor and a boat. But I do have the 5-inch screen up front, that the 2D sonar that does work. So here's the decision making process I have. On top of I've got 2 different things going on in my mind, and a lot of it is based upon the boat here, because I'm not real super confident that I want to make a long run in this. Number one, I don't want to hurt my buddy's motor, and number two, I don't want to get broke down on a long run. And on top of that, he's got a 24-volt motor, the 24-volt trolling motor. And if you guys have ever used a 24-volt trolling motor, it's not like a 36. It's only got 70 pounds of thrust, but you run out of juice on the things. You can't like go forever. You can't get on one of those patterns where you're just covering water all day, because you'll run out of juice. I've used the boat enough to know that, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you start to notice a drain on your battery, even if you just use a moderate amount. So based upon that, I've got to determine how I want to practice in this tournament. So right off the bat, I can't fish a pattern where I have to cover tremendous amounts of water. So I can't like pick up a crankbait or a spinnerbait or top water and just blow down the bank and cover water. I'm not going to have enough power on my trolling motor to do that. So I've got to figure out how to catch them with a slower technique where I don't have to cover that much water. Now that lends me to a lot of different things. I can flip and pitch or something like that. I can fish more isolated cover. But the problem is that on Lake of the Ozarks, I either like fishing really close to the takeoff or really far away from the takeoff. And a lot of the areas that I like to fish that are a long way from the takeoff, they're hard to get into. And on top of being hard to get into, the water's low at Lake of the Ozarks right now. But I'm just not sure about that motor. The thing died and quit on me so many times at the last tournament. That's really on the top of my mind in a big way. But then again, if I try to fish close to the takeoff area, that's the type of water that is down there. It's going to require me to cover a lot of water. I can't fish isolated targets. So I may run out of trolling motor juice. So I've got a couple different options. I can either, use more time running, take my time and just run 45 miles an hour up the lake, and however long it takes me. And when I get up there, I can fish specific targets and not burn through my trolling motor. Or I guess I could go and get an extra set of batteries if I fish close to cover water. So that's the two things I'm looking at. And, obviously, there's going to be a lot of different ways you can catch them in this tournament. There's probably going to be, I bet probably, 7 or probably 8 out of the top 10 in this tournament they're going to get caught spotlighting. There might be 1 or 2 that, have some type of a shallow water pattern. That's what I'm hoping for on my end of it. But I'm trying to figure out what I need to place here in this tournament in order to qualify for the championship. A lot of it depends on, who catches what, as far as other people around me. But I'm guessing, just from my looking at the points and everything, I'm guessing if I finish in the top, 50 or 60 in the tournament, I'll be right there, probably qualify. Definitely, if I make the top 50, I'll definitely qualify. Maybe top 60, maybe top 70. It just depends on who catches them and how many people are in the tournament. But anyway, I've got today to practice, so I'll, let my practice day today dictate what I want to do tomorrow. And then on tomorrow, and then I'll probably get like maybe half a day of practice on Wednesday. I got to do a Bridgeford promotion, so I'm not going to have a full day. But just sort of let it see how it unfolds here. And it's been a long time since I've had a tournament where my boat was actually a factor in determining how I wanted to fish. Normally that's just a non-issue, but that's part of it, man. It's part of the sort of the challenge and fun of bass fishing. But regardless, guys, if I catch them or not, if I make the championship or not, I'll still, have a lot to share with you guys about what you can do to catch fish, or what you might want to avoid not to catch fish. I have already qualified for the BFL regional down at Lake Pickwick the first week of October, but this is the one I'm really wanting to go to. If I qualify for this one, I probably won't go to that BFL regional, simply because they require you to pay $330 entry fee to go to a regional, which is ridiculous. And then you got to get in the top 6 out of 200 people to make the All-American. So since it's 500 miles from my house and you got to pay an entry fee and the payout sucks from a business standpoint, it probably wouldn't be worth it to go. But if I don't make the Toyota Series Championship, I'll definitely go to the BFL Regional, because I want to have at least one championship to fish there. So I'll let you guys know how it goes tonight. I'll give you guys the tournament report when I get off the water, and we'll talk later.